For this video, I wanted to show just the unboxing and setup process of this Boost Surf fin for use with a paddleboard. Setup went mostly smooth with one issue when setting up the app on an Android phone, which ended up having a very easy solution. But first, let's get to the unboxing. The fin came very well packaged. As you open the box on top, you have a quick start guide along with the metal shield you can put on the back of the propeller to give it a bit more protection if desired. Then you have the actual fin. It feels very solid and well built, made with glass fiber reinforced polymer and ABS plastic. So it's not too heavy, coming in at 2.7 pounds in weight. My first thought was that it was built with aluminum. I actually had to tap on it to make sure it wasn't. The standard fin comes with a longboard adapter installed, so I'll need to remove it since I'm planning to use this with a paddleboard. Under the fin in the back is this flap, and inside you'll find the remote, the power adapter, and a screwdriver that also functions as the power button. The screwdriver is necessary to switch out the mounting on the fin, and the magnet on the back is used to power on the fin. The power adapter comes with two plugs you can switch out if you travel. Since I'm in the US, I'll be using the US adapter. It's a simple attachment, just insert and turn slightly until you hear a click. So to start up the setup, I checked to see how the propeller guard was attached. It's a simple insert and turn setup. Just make sure that the smaller part of the guard is facing the way you will be turning it, like this. It does take a decent amount of pressure to get it to snap into place. For the next part, I went ahead and charged up the fin. They ask that you fully charge it once you receive it and then fully charge it once a month even if you're not using it. This will help the battery last longer. The charging port is on the back under the rubber plug. To charge, simply plug in the adapter to an outlet and then plug the other side into the port. It took about 2 hours to fully charge. When it's charging, the light on the adapter is red, and when it goes out, it's fully charged. Once it's done charging, it's important to put in the rubber plug back in correctly. I noticed it can go in at an angle and that might let some water in, so it's definitely smart to take the time and make sure it's all the way in and straight. The next part of the setup was to attach the mounting bracket that works with my paddleboard. There's a QR code that takes you to an installation guide on the packaging. Depending on your attachment type, yours might look different than mine, but for the standard SUP slide-in attachment, it was really easy to install. Just remove the two screws on the side and remove the longboard attachment. Then take yours and place it in the same location. The slide-in SUP one fits either way, so make sure you have it facing the right direction before screwing it into place. There are two screws and a spacer included in the package, if that's the type of the attachment you have. But for the standard slide-in, you shouldn't need it. There's also an opening for you to secure your pin. And for the final part of the setup, you just need to install and connect the app. It's called Boost Surfing and it's available for iOS and Android. Once you open up the app, it'll ask you to turn on your Bluetooth. After doing that, you accept the terms and conditions and it asks you if you want to stay updated. Then it asks you to turn on your fin and gives you instructions on how to do it, which is done by placing the magnet in the indicated place and holding it there for 1 to 2 seconds. I did just that. I placed the screwdriver there and it turned on without any issues. Then it asks if the app can access your location and I allowed it. Then it says it's searching for your fin, and here you're going to want to hold your phone close to the fin for this part, especially if you're on an iPhone. And here is where I had my issue. No matter what I did, it would not connect to my fin. I restarted the fin several times, I tried several different phones, and it just would not connect. I'll spare you the whole process and just tell you the solution. In my case, I allowed the app to access my location, but in the phone settings, I didn't have my location enabled. So when I finally figured that out and turned on the location on my phone, it connected instantly and without any issues. The app is really simple and straightforward to use. You have some preset settings depending on what you're planning to use this fin on, like paddleboard or surfboard. Then you have settings for the two buttons, one for short bursts and the other for longer run times. For the longer run times, you have SUP Assistance, which is supposed to give you 100 minutes on a full charge. And then you have SUP Trolling, which is supposed to give you 70 minutes on a full charge. And finally SUP Wind, which is supposed to give you 40 minutes on a full charge. I will be uploading another video on how the battery holds up and how these work a bit later once the weather allows me to fully test these. But judging by how fast the propeller was spinning in the SUP Assistance mode, I expect to be impressed as long as the battery holds up. There are also settings for how long the standby time is, which is super useful as you need the screwdriver to turn it on, and only then you can control it with the remote. Speaking of which, the app also allows you to set which button is the short press and which one is the long press on the remote control. The app does a great job of providing instructions and directions on how to do that. But once all that is done, you just attach this to your board and you're good to go. I would like to figure out some kind of a system where I don't have to have the screwdriver with me to turn it on, but I am really excited to see what this can do when attached to a paddleboard.